Wow. Well, welcome to another episode of Thank You, uh, Landed for Success. I have a very special guest here today. This individual I have so much respect for. Not only is he an expert when it comes to SEO, Facebook, and social media ads, but he's a family man. He loves to help people. And I can't think of a better person to jump right in today to talk about how do you use SEO, Facebook, and social media ads to position yourself for more success in your business. So help me welcome my good friend, Jason Hunt.
Thanks, Gordon. Pleasure to be here. Obviously, a pleasure speaking to the Land for Success community, who I obviously respect and been a part of it for a while now as a lifetime member. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Thursday. I think it's going to be an awesome presentation. And on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to dive into how to best leverage SEO with social media ads, because the two are kind of very different, but there is a lot of crossover, and if you're not leveraging them both together, you're missing a huge opportunity. And so we're going to dive into it on Thursday. I'm excited. I think you're muted, Gordon.
Right. So Thursday, if you guys are watching right now, please join Jason this Thursday, 7:30 p.m., 30 to 40 minutes. Okay. And learn about how to use social media to break through for your business in 2022. Jason, why social media? Like, why is social media, do you think, important for a real estate agent, a financial planner, an advisor, a business owner?
Well, you don't use social media to sell. That's the misconception. Is people use it the wrong way, and they don't see much success with their limited time using it, and then they kind of give up on it, because it is one of those things that is time consuming. You have to maintain it. Sure, you can outsource it and hire somebody to post for you on your pages, which is great and all, but in reality, you need to use those platforms as a way to build a relationship with your potential prospects. And I think if you can wrap your head around that and the way you use it as a way to build that relationship and deploy patience with it, then in the long run, you will see those results. But it's not one of those platforms where it's like, hey, let's try this and kick it for 30 days and see what happens. It's not that type of a platform. And I think once people understand that, they'll start to have more patience with those platforms.
Well, that's amazing. Jason, I'm going to show this for a second here for some of my friends who are thinking, okay, who the heck is Jason Hunt? Well, I can tell you if you go to merge.ca, you're going to be able to see information there about Jason. Did I do this right here? What happened here? The measure of life. I need to get rid of that because that's not important. Jason Hunt is who we're here to talk about. But go to merge.ca, okay? Because digital marketing. Everyone talks about digital marketing, but I think Jason is someone who knows how to implement it not only for himself or his own companies, for clients, like his clients. And that's one of the reasons why I've been so comfortable in refer my real estate clients and entrepreneurs to Jason for his services. Jason, this Thursday, what should people expect? Actually, no, here's my question I got for you. What gives you the authority to be able to say that you can teach someone about social media?
I would say, one of the big things is the fact that over the last, when I started my social media agency back in 2015, I've seen so many changes, and I've learned it's an industry where you have to be nimble and you have to be ahead of the curve and you have to be ready to react when there is a new change in social media. And we've done a good job of doing that. And, I've had the pleasure and benefit of speaking on a lot of stages around the world on social media marketing, and rub shoulders with a lot of the big players in the industry. And one of the big things is, more importantly than all that, is the results that we've gotten for our clients as well. And the proof is in the pudding, right? In terms of what is working. Tactics that even 1 year ago, tactics we used to deploy in 2020 no longer work as well today. So we've had to change the game on a lot of the activities that we do. In 2019, I merged my company with an SEO company. And the CEO of that company, Todd Foster, who's my business partner, is going to be joining me on Thursday to talk more about SEO. I know SEO, but I know SEO up here. He's like in the weeds of it. And this guy loves the ever going changes with SEO, whether it be the Google Core Vitals update
Yeah.
or a new tool that's out there to better benefit our clients. He's the guy to talk to. So I'm so glad, because he's typically not the guy that comes on these webinars, but he's going to join me to show you a couple tips and tricks on Thursday.
Jason, that's absolutely incredible. Todd Foster. I mean, with yourself, Todd, your agency, you guys have helped clients generate thousands and hundreds of thousands and into the seven figures in revenue. And Todd absolutely knows what he's doing. And pre-pandemic, how many of us travel hundreds of thousands of miles for events, pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to meet individuals like Todd? And now anybody who, in our group here that register can actually come and meet Todd in person on Thursday.
Yeah, I think one of the big things is even the industry that we're going to be talking about on Thursday, specifically realtors, which is a very important one for us, because we are part owners of Canadian Real Estate Wealth Magazine. If anybody's familiar with it, it's CanadianRealEstateMagazine.ca. It used to be on the shelves at Shoppers Drug Mart, but when we collaborated with our client to take that magazine over, we decided to make a massive digital play with it. So we redid the entire website. We've doubled the traffic to the website, which is insane. And
you double the traffic to that site.
Yeah, the traffic's up to 70,000 users a month. Email subscribers is roughly around 40 to 50,000. Now, keep in mind, Canadian Real Estate Wealth is a publication, but the sister publication to it, which we also own, is Real Estate Professional Magazine, Real Estate Professional Canada. Repmag.ca is the website. So we have our copywriters here in Guelph that write the content for that magazine, for those magazines. And so that's the big thing about real estate, is why we're so embedded in it. It's because we have our team that's well versed in real estate, and they're writing a lot of that SEO content for our clients and white papers. So we'll peel under the hood a little deeper and peel back the layers of the onion on Thursday when we get into the weeds of it.
Okay, so I can hardly wait till Thursday. Can you give a little bit of a teaser of maybe something that if I'm an agent, I can walk away with, that I can implement for my business? Yeah,
definitely. So, one of the things is writing the right topics for a blog, which is, writing topics for a blog. You might sit there and be like, well, what's a good topic to write? It doesn't really matter what you think is a good topic to write. What really matters is what people are searching for. So, we do a lot of keyword research before we decide on a particular blog topic to write. So we're going to share some of the tools that we use in order to generate those topics for your blog. And then also the topics for your white paper as well, which is something that you use as a lead generation tool to bring people into your ecosystem. We're going to dive into that as well on Thursday, and how that all works together, so you're not doubling the work that you need to do.
That's amazing. Jason, before I let you go, I know we're short on time. I want to thank you for taking the time to be here. I want to acknowledge a few of the folks that are here, and anybody who drops in afterwards. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment. We'll try to circle back with Jason and answer some of them later. If you want to meet Jason in person, leave a comment below or reach out to either one of us. We'll send you the registration link. It's by invitation only, where you can come and join and meet Todd Foster. You can meet Jason in person, learn from them how to generate leads for your real estate business, whatever business you're in. I'm going to put you on the spot, Jason. Okay, so Kiran, I just saw Kiran. Kiran, thank you so much for being here. Kiran is a real estate agent. Kiran is also a international best-selling author in Land for Success Volume 1, and you're going to be in Volume 2, so you guys are now related. And ironically, Kiran shows up this morning, and this morning I posted because you're very strong in podcasting. I'm just getting started, and one of our podcasts we did, I showcased Kiran, and it got picked up by Player FM. I think it got picked up by iHeartRadio and different places. And I just posted it this morning, right? As Kiran shows up. For argument's sake, could you, if somebody like that was one of your clients, a real estate agent was one of your clients, and they had a podcast, it was being picked up on Google and Spotify and all these places, what's one simple strategy that you would be able to recommend without them breaking the bank to generate more leads?
Yeah, don't use your podcast to close. Use your podcast to bring people into your ecosystem. Bring people in top of funnel.
Say that again. That's so powerful.
Don't use your podcast to close. It's not going to close. A lot of people look at a podcast. It's like, okay, I'm spending all this time. I'm having these conversations, but I'm not seeing ROI. You're never going to see direct ROI. But what you will see is you'll see people knowing who you are, know, like, and trusting you as they listen to your podcast, 3, 4, 5 times. They're going to understand who you are. And that's the important thing, is you're bringing them into your ecosystem. So a simple strategy that we deploy at Merged Media is a podcast that I run. I have my team carve up clips from every episode, things, inspiring things that my guests may say, or some feedback that we'll give the audience. I'll cut that up and I'll target a specific audience on Facebook and optimize for people watching videos. So once people watch a percentage of that video content of our podcast, they're now entering our ecosystem. Where as a realtor, if I'm doing a real estate podcast, well, this is somebody that they now know you. They just need to like and trust you now. So, you want to provide continuous value to those people that are listening to your podcast. So maybe that second ad that you target to somebody that listens to your podcast is sending them over to your blog, getting them over to your maybe newsletter list, or a nurture sequence, or a lead magnet. Continue to give them that value. The more value you can give them up front before the ask, the better close you're going to find. The better closing you're going to find down the road. And I find in our experience, the best clients are people that have come in, listened to the podcast, understand what Merged Media is about, went over to our blog, then we had that discovery call. There's so many times I've had that discovery call where I've walked away being like, wow, that was such a good conversation. It was such a great conversation. And I couldn't understand why until we have our kickoff call. And they're like, hey, I listened to like 3 or 4 episodes of your podcast before we even had that discovery call. And I'm just like, whoa, okay, well, that makes a whole lot of sense now.
That's
so they knew me before I knew them. You know what I mean?
That sounds like a lot of work. Are you going to be covering some of that on Thursday night?
Podcast stuff, we can definitely hit it up in the Q&A if people have questions about the podcast stuff. But that presentation on Thursday is more about a different strategy that we're deploying, that we're seeing good results with. So we can definitely dive into the podcast, but that could be a total new webinar itself, right?
There's so much, there's so much there. And so, Jason, once again, I want to thank you so much for being here. Anybody who's watching right now, this is Jason Hunt, co-founder from Merged Media. These guys, my good friend Joey Garcia is a entrepreneur who has created more millionaires in third world countries than anyone I know. And Joe said to me one day after being on Jason's podcast, he said, man, this guy is a media mogul. Like, if anybody truly wants to grow their business digitally, they should get in touch with Jason and his team. And I definitely echo that. So if you're watching, please register. This is something you don't want to miss. It may be a free event. And Jason, my biggest fear is people take it for granted because it's free, that they don't take it seriously. But I've seen individuals charge hundreds and thousands of dollars for the same information that you're offering on Thursday.
Hey, this is what's going to happen on Thursday is I'm going to show you the exact strategy that we do, that we deploy, that I'm going to teach how to do it yourself. I'm going to basically show you the blueprint on how you can do the same things that we do at our agency. The only thing is, at the end of it, I'm going to say, hey, if you can't do this yourself, we're here to help you out.
Yes.
All right. So that's it. And it's not going to be a sales push. I know it's a free webinar. Yes. Typically when you see those free webinars, it's like a 60-minute sales push. Not at all. I'm going to maybe have a slide. I'll have a slide at the end of my contact information. All right. That's it.
That's amazing. So before you go, Jason, I know you always have one question. You've been through these 3 questions before. I wonder if you would have the same answers, and so the folks can get to know you a little bit. Jason, what is your favorite color?
Ooh, green. 100%.
Green.
Yeah, green.
Okay.
I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, so it's green.
Would have the same answers, and so the folks can get to know you. For some reason, sorry, Jason, my phone is on. I'm echoing here. My apologies. Green. What is your favorite ice cream?
Ooh, it used to be bubblegum, but I'm getting older now, so I'm gonna have to go with straight up chocolate.
Changing, eh? Okay, so chocolate.
And watch the sugar intake.
And then usually I ask, like, what's, if you could wave a magic wand, what's one thing you would do for yourself? So I'm going to change it because this is a question you ask, and I've never heard your answer before. So your question is usually, if you could pick one person dead or alive to represent your brand, who would it be?
Oh man, that is so tough because I've never actually asked myself that question. I've asked that question.
Is it okay if I steal that one from you?
It's okay. I asked that question 118 times and I've never actually asked myself that question. So I would say mine is growing up. my favorite athlete was Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
And Bo Jackson, Bo knows, right? Like Bo knows because he's just this guy that was really good at football and also really good at baseball. And he's kind of like that guy that was just like, really good. Bo knows. And I just remember his marketing campaigns back in the day. He was just so good at what he did. And, I would pick Bo Jackson because at Merge Media, we're really good at social media marketing. We're really good at SEOs. So combine those two together, you got Bo Jackson, football and baseball. So there you go.
Well, that's actually pretty powerful. I like that. So now it's like Bo knows, but Jason knows too about digital marketing.
Exactly. And like Michael Jordan couldn't kick it at both, right? Michael Jordan was a good basketball player. He wasn't so good with the White Sox, though.
Yeah, complete. Yeah, that's right. Well, anyways, once again, Jason, thank you so much for being here. Everyone who's watching, thank you. Have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Most importantly, register and come and meet Jason, learn from Jason in person, and meet Jason in person this coming Thursday. And until the next time, everyone, have an amazing day.
See you soon.